around 5,000 jobs.
Important story here.
None of my steel plants would exist today if it had not been for our effort. And my workers support me completely. I have full support from my workers, from the unions, people like Roy Rickers, who's the head of community. I constantly talk to them. They all understand and appreciate that I believe in the steel industry in the UK, and I believe it has a future. And that is something, it's not just a belief, it's something our track record has already proven. I will not give up on you. You are my family, I will not give up on you. Under my watch, none of my steel plants will close, I promise.
Well, we're joined by our business presenter Ian King live in the city, and Ian, no doubt of Mr. Gupta's intention there, but can he actually deliver on not losing jobs and not closing his plants?
Yeah, very good question, Adam. I think that is a promise he may struggle to keep, because this is a business right now that is fighting for its life. There's been a winding up order tabled against Liberty Commodities, which is part of his GFG Global Alliance. I mean, this is a sprawling and often at times very opaque business, Adam. It's very difficult to get to grips with what is going on. But we heard when Greensill Capital itself went into administration a few weeks ago that it was owed many billions of pounds by Mr. Gupta's GFG Alliance, and Mr. Gupta actually confirmed that today. The phrasing he actually used was many billions. So that is how much he is owed to Greensill. Now, the winding up order, interestingly, has come from Citi, the Wall Street banking giant, but behind it, according to the Financial Times, is Credit Suisse, which obviously owned funds that were sold, but certain bond-like instruments by Greensill Capital, and underpinning those were monies that were owed to Greensill by GFG Alliance. So it's quite a complicated saga.
I would say it's very complicated.
For this winding up order has come from. It's quite an aggressive action, and that has got to be Sanjeev Gupta's immediate priority, I would suggest, is seeing off those winding up petitions from Citi. It potentially threatens the whole edifice. So it's no surprise under those circumstances to see him enlisting the support of the steel unions, for example, in trying to gain taxpayer support. Bear in mind, though, Adam, the government has previously rejected appeals by Mr. Gupta for money, and that is because of the opacity of his businesses. We don't know that if money that is put up by British taxpayers to support Liberty Steel would necessarily end up going to Liberty Steel. It's perfectly possible that they might end up propping up other parts of the GFG Alliance from around the world. So you can understand the scepticism and caution of the UK government.
Very true.
Bear in mind, Adam, this is the third time almost in as many years that British taxpayer has been asked to put its hand in its pocket.
And the main point as well is he's a mega billionaire.
Money back in 2016. You've then had the rather cynically renamed British Steel. Of course, it was owned by a company called Greyball Capital. It was, we economists call it rent-seeking, what they were trying to do, really. That was eventually sold to Yingyi, a Chinese company, but not before British taxpayers have been asked to stump up money. And then again, now we see Liberty Steel, the third biggest player, being asking for taxpayer handouts as well. So you do wonder at some point whether the government is going to turn around and say enough is enough. It's about time that this industry learned to stand on its own 2 feet. And actually, there's a very interesting leader column in the Financial Times this morning which makes this point. And it actually says, well, Debenhams was allowed to go under just before Christmas with 12,000 people.
It was, yes.
In the process. Why on earth should the taxpayer put their hand in their pocket to save 5,000 steel workers? It's a very, very moot point.
Indeed, Ian, thanks very much. The eyes of the world are on